So yes. So yes. You can. Riley and Bernard and Perlita and Harry and Dave and Roble 9 lie about who it really belonged to in the past. They never belonged to you, Bernard LaFagolette Chance and Perlita and the Bitted Bat 4, Red Randy and Gordon. They belonged to girls. And they can prove that. So you can run around and profess that you won with your Confederacy, Bernard, and lie about who it really belonged to. Several sets of girls first. So Trim Riley, Joe Zillig, Harry J. Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Perlita Quinwall, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, 61 Amphibious Baseman, the Antilla Man. That you can run around BB4 LaCarney, Bernard, about who it belonged to when it was females first, and then they had to be known in history again for passing on your genetic infection and lying, Bernard. BB4 LaCarney Man, Country and Western and Ghetto Life. Just seems to me that you group, Karen and Stan, you guys just don't want to learn from history. The Carney Circus isn't an award. They did it to prove you guys were passing on a genetic infection in opposition to people who knew what they were doing, whether it was Jew or Russian or whatever. So you can, Carney Man, Bernard, and Harry, and Pickens Street, Jamaica Street, Joe and GPS Night, and Antillas, and look like the biggest dumb shits on the earth with Dave and Perlita's obsession with the Confederacy and communism and not know what you're doing or talking about the entire time. And they get to prove forever out here with the military and the police and firefighters and doctors and teachers and the tech companies that you, Riley and Joe Zillig and Harry Race, Bernard LaChance, Dave Ballamorad, Perlita, John Adam, are mass murderers. Ellery's in the Blue Boy boxes, GPS Paso Robo Rapist Night, and 61 Amphibious Spaceman because it belonged to females who knew what they were doing, Bernard. So you can make up whatever story you want, Bernard, but they nail you again if they're recording and listening to your stuff this morning, Bernard, in your broadcast. Run away and hide, Carney Man. Pretend to be the eye. And Bernard, as you became the supposed only vampire bat of the world, you're actually the fraud and shill because you had to kill, rape, and torture and murder and lie to get it. And they could follow the pattern of the children that you guys keep doing that to, Bernard, and trace it back. Yes, they can prove that it once worked, but they never originally belonged to the four of you. They belonged to certain boys and girls, and especially another woman that you keep defying, Bernard LaFagolette Chance. What's in there? A man. So guess what? They can prove, Bernard, you and your regime have always been lying sacks of shit on the planet Earth as long as you've touched it. GPS Night and Stan and Ellery's, Pickens Street, Jamaica Street. That long, Bernard. So wave your LGBT flag and your Confederate flag, but you're rapists, pedophiles, kidnappers, thieves, and liars, scumbag of the planet Earth.